this figured out, and I can tell you when I'm right.
So yeah, 217 recovery rides. That is, I guess it's to the point now where, I need to be humble. I don't like the feeling I get when I ask people for support for stuff like that, but I need to get to the point where no, I should be giving opportunities for people to support us. And I kind of laugh, but I'm not laughing. It is a great need, and what I'm talking about is getting people to and from AA meetings, recovery meetings, support groups, therapists, lawyers, whatever, someone needs to go to and is recovery related. We want to help get those people there. We want to help get them there for free. And the only way to do that, is to get funding. And then once we get the funding, we can become a non-emergency medical transportation company. And when we do that, we can make extra money, extra funds, and we're actually going to be having recovery coach drivers drive for us. So we're giving people in recovery a chance to give back, a golden opportunity, really, to start living a better life. You're going to have a sense of purpose. You're going to be humble. You're going to meet people. Because I did this for Chetmobile down in Southwest Michigan. And the people that I met, driving them to their medical appointments, it was cool. I mean, it was cool to learn about people and to see people struggling with, cancer and, amputations. And I mean, just some of the things. I mean, not all of them were like that, but, then there were people that were handicapped, and I got to talk to them, and some of them were just full of life. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm mad because my car just got repoed and I'm going to go drink, that's not a big deal. When it comes down to it at the end of the day about life and things in life. And I don't know, that just really, I mean, it stuck to me. It stuck with me. I'm still thinking about some of the conversations I've had with those people. And I think giving that sense of purpose and creating that opportunity for people in recovery to get out there, to drive, to make some good money, we're going to pay really well. And, so we can do that and then take people to meetings as well and, do that all for free. And, we get reimbursed from a couple different sources, and, we'll be off and running. But, to get off and running, we've asked for, there's this charity, I'm not going to name it by name, but there's one, there's a couple that we've put into, but one said, no, we don't help startup companies or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, we're a 501c3 public charity, but I mean, that's fine if you don't want to say we're a startup company. But, auto insurance, we were quoted as $15,000 a year, which, I was like, whoa. But if you break it down, I don't think it needs to all be paid in 1 year. Let's pay it every quarter or something. I mean, every month if I have to, just to get us off the ground. And then, we were trying to talk to a couple of dealerships, and I really want to hit up Blue Dominion's Deals on Wheels. But, he's so far, I think he's got some in Kalamazoo now. But, so far south, I don't know if he'd be like, yeah, I mean, that's cool, but you're not really in my area. I don't know. I mean, Lou's a great guy, and I think he'd want to help out people in recovery. But, to find the right dealership and to get the right, funding, and whether it's through foundations, through grants, through donations, it's time for me to, step up and start using the podcast as a platform to ask people, for their support. And it's $5, it's $125,000, whatever you can dig out your pocket or whatever you can part with, this is going to go to a good cause. And it's going to be great. It's going to change the way people get to meetings, I think. And it's going to change the way people in recovery are treated and looked at in the community. And that's something that I think will go a long way, because we all know that there's things in the recovery treatment realm that need to be tweaked. I'm not looking to fix things. I'm not looking to change, everything. I'm not looking to fill the holes, that are missing. I'm just here to go, hey, I know what helped me. And again, kind of like the podcast, I know what helped me. This is going to help the community. Let's tie them together and let's see where this goes. Instead of looking in the past, trying to get the white out and go, well, no, let's not do this. Let's create opportunities that create that purpose. And, Gabe wants to do a music thing, which I think is awesome. And I know music therapy is awesome for people in recovery. And if you can go somewhere and hang out with other musicians and realize that you guys are doing that sober and just having a great time, you get addicted to that almost, I mean, anything that you do and that your brain gets those good vibes from, is a good thing. That's a good substitution for the substance. But
yeah, and I think it's important to clarify, not that, I mean, it's a confusing thing, but just for the pure fact of what 217 recovery is trying to do. It seems, because sometimes we jump all over the place, like we're doing this recovery rides, we're doing this movie, we're doing, we're doing the podcast, and we got all these ideas. I've come up with a couple other ones as well, but we do have all these ideas that are swarming that eventually will get put into place. And so these donations that we're hoping to find, I mean, right now it's just all about voicing the need for this funding to get things started and to get things happening. And it's all for the good of the recovery community. And, it's not for us, it's not for you, it's not for me, it's for the recovery community. It's about the needs that are out there that need to be attended to, or that need help, and then also for fun. I mean, because that's what we're about too. And I know this COVID thing is kind of putting a wet blanket on a lot of, things that we had lined up for this summer, or we were hoping for, right. Which is unfortunate, but, doesn't mean that they're gone, doesn't mean they still can't materialize. It's just our timeline's pushed back. But, we still are talking about the fishing tournament that you had the idea about, and the golfing tournament, and what else? Well, the movie, we're going to do the movie and then play the movie at the theater you were speaking of.
Mm-hmm. Kalamazoo State Theater.
Kalamazoo State Theater, yeah. So a ton of fun stuff that will still happen. We're just trying to figure out the timeline and how to get that stuff put together and figured out. Recovery rides being the first major thing that we're trying to put together. So I think spreading the word and whatever, that you can come up with, or, someone that or someone that that knows somebody else, kind of spreading the word that of what we're trying to do, and trying to make that happen.
And that you mentioned fun too is a real big part of it, because that's something that, I'm always preaching about, fun in recovery, having fun in recovery. And we do like to have fun in recovery. And I really can't wait to go to meetings again, start having more fun.
Know.
It's going to be awesome. They should be opening up soon. But yeah, if you can support us, like Marnie said, maybe a friend, just pass the message along. I know some of our good friends, people that have met us, they know, and they'll vouch for us 100%. I mean, they're posting stuff on Facebook. Lainey, she listens to the show, and we've given her advice from time to time, personal, on the phone, and she's going through early recovery too, and she's just found something that made her happy and made her proud, and I think that's going to help her a lot. Just that sense of purpose, I'm telling you, is night and day. It'll be such a game changer. Now, if the person wants to really change their life and not do drugs, now that's something that's going to be on the person. But the people that want to go to meetings, I'm assuming, if they're going to go through the trouble of arranging a ride, that they're going to want to go to those meetings. And with recovery coaches driving them to the meetings, it's like I always said with Rob and Matt and even Ryan and Chris, we would have meetings on the way to meetings, and on the way back from meetings, we'd have another meeting, like in the car. We wouldn't do the readings or anything, but we would just be talking about recovery and our days and what went on that day, and how we're going to get through it, and opportunities, and some of the fun stuff we're going to do. And I can't wait also for the UFAM rally.
Yes, I know, that's exciting. I really hope that happens in September.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of wondering if that's why they're not. I mean, Scott and Marilee, they said, yeah, sure, about the sponsorship thing, and then the whole COVID thing came up, and it was just, and then they moved in. They found a date, the 24th of September. And now I think they're just kind of like not walking on eggshells, but kind of like, well, we don't want to.
Right.
Let's just make sure. Let's just see, because last thing they want to do is cancel it again or to move it again. And I don't know. I think it'll work out how it's supposed to, but I really hope they can, because I've met a lot of great people there last year and saw a lot of great friends that I hadn't seen in a while. And it's crazy when you've made the rounds through the state treatment centers, who you run into, and to see them, 2 years later and they're still doing great, or 3 years later and they're, still sober. And it's cool to see other people in recovery doing it, and, there's people out there that I've met that have, a lot more time than I do, and they're still going, they're still working on it. It's like I was saying the other day yesterday about the workout guy, you don't see him in the gym. You don't see him doing all the stuff he needs to do to get that body. And it's like us too in recovery. People don't see what I'm doing every day. I don't do just a podcast. There's other things that I do in my recovery to keep myself sober. And it's just a little part that you're seeing, but you got to put in the work if you want the results.
Yeah. Recovery is a lifestyle for me.
These guys are still out there doing it though. And I don't see what they're doing every day, but I know when I, see them at UFAM that there's whatever they're doing, they're still doing it. And, I'm proud of them. Absolutely.
I think, I think about that too a lot, is that, morning, I'm grateful, and then just little things throughout the day, just reminding me, like, I wouldn't be able to be doing this right now if I, wasn't sober. And then at night, climbing in bed, being grateful and just praying to God, thank you for everything that, you've helped me with. And just, you're right, just a daily gratitude, for being where I'm at today.
Oh, is that what you usually pray to God about?
Sexual relationship.
Yes. I call his name a lot, but... Killing it tonight. Don't think that was sexual. That was not sexual. I meant joke wise.
Okay.
Killing it. Yeah. So. Sorry, I got a little choked up there. I was just thinking about the UFAM rally, and what if we did something? I think Chris still owes me the helmet bet from when he lost the bet at the Super Bowl. I think he still has to wear a helmet. So I don't know if he's going to do that, but I should.
To the UFAM rally, wear a helmet?
No, to be there at the rally with a helmet, but I think it needs to be something better than that. I need to coax him into something.
Okay. Because he'd be totally fine with that. I'm sure he'd just be like, sure, I'll wear the helmet.
Should we have Chris streak?
No.
You're right,
no.
Anna. We'll have Anna go streaking.
No streaking.
Yeah, I need to get Anna in on a bet.
That you can't do that.
Sucker bet.
You get arrested for that.
But what if she's wearing her mask?
No. No. You're crazy.
But what if she's body painted?
Still, no. I'm pretty sure you still get arrested for that. Why don't you?
Anybody want to see that? I'll scare everybody away. Like, wow, I would get arrested. They would make sure they put a knee on my neck. They'd be like, yeah, this guy is out of control. And nobody would say anything. They'd have it on video and they'd be like, good. Yeah.
Stop it.
That jerk needed to be taken down. The whole thing was on video. Didn't you see it? Fat ass running across the yard. Ain't nobody want to see that.
Stop it.
They just had lunch. People puking everywhere. But, yeah. I don't know. We'll think of some fun stuff to do for sure. And I really want to get in parades. And, that's something that you were talking about, having water bottles and passing those out and maybe, selling them. Or not selling them, but for everyone who comes up to us and sees us at events, give them a water. If they make a donation, hey, water's available with, every donation. And, that's a pretty good idea. It's just there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do at this moment.
Yeah.
Are the fairs canceled? Is this something that we need to look up?
Mm-hmm.
Who's our promotions person? Oh, we don't have one.
No, we don't have one.
Yet.
We're scrapping.